Good morning. Good morning. How we doing? Happy Wednesday, man. This week is flying. NQ. So let's take a look at higher time frames. We're just shy of the 25,700 area of resistance this morning. We got some news about Microsoft hitting the tape a few minutes ago, and Nasdaq is right back into the 25,500 level of interest. It's also the weekly and monthly open. It's going to make the main watch for this morning pretty simple. I'll be focused on 25,500, the prior day low, and then down into 25,360. That's been a pretty critical pivot over the past week or so, right through here. A lot of congestion in that area, and then from weeks prior as well. So we'll see if this dip gets absorbed or not right off the open and what that's looking like here in about 4 minutes. We do have some economic data prints at 9:45 and 10 a.m. So some things to keep an eye on as well there. Yeah, NQ just shy of that 500. Bumping into that weekly open, that Sunday night open. What's the news that just hit? It looks like Microsoft lowers their AI software sales quota. Are you looking for longs or shorts today? I only trade longs. So I'll only be looking for longs. Long only. Long only. Good volume. Good volume pre-market. You have ES with a perfect test of prior day low as well. Now retesting 68.30. And RTY swept that prior day low and big bounce there. Big prior day low spring. We still have headlines flying right now. And then the data print at 9:45 and 10. So double check the width of those structures. As always. Double check your risk points. Let's see what this open looks like. 1 minute. 1 minute till the open. 25,500 main watch. We will be looking at a gap lower, still within prior day's range. Let's say 5 seconds. All right, there's your open. Pretty much right at 495. There's an initial rejection of 500. What makes me long only? I'll talk about that in a little bit once it slows down. There's your gap low. We're still within prior day's range though. And we're into the highs. Okay. Does it sustain or no? Time will tell. Time will tell. ES just kind of bumping up against 6830. That is a level of interest. Higher time frame level of interest. And Q testing prior day value area low. So now 500 needs to hold. Can it hold? Can it hold? Can it hold? Very similar setup to yesterday. A little microstructure there. Right at 500. Need this area to hold. Trails at 504. There's a trail. All right. Little 40 points on light size. Start the morning. I would want to ideally see more follow through from this open, like at least up into VWAP, at least get away from 500. You can see that price is kind of struggling to stay above that 500, right? And we're back in the lows. VWAP is at 25,520. My VWAP is at 25,570. So if NQ makes a fresh low on the session here, I'll be watching that reaction into prior day low right through here. No plans to get involved with this current structure again. If I take an opening drive sort of entry or an entry near the open, I really want it to just go right away. Not consolidate. RTY already tested overnight high. Small caps are strong. Volume's kind of tapering down a bit. So that softy chart looks Microsoft. Oh, it's down 2.5%. Okay. It's not all bad. Wow, Apple. Apple just silently all-time highs, all-time highs. Look at volume below average on NQ, already below average. So we may need to wait for that 9:45 and 10 a.m. print here. Ten a.m. news, yeah. 9:45 and 10. Look at that RTY. NASDAQ, new low of day. Staying patient right now. Let's see. Besant currently speaking. So NASDAQ little undercut of the low, and then right back into this holding pattern, a little consolidation nation. NQ has yet to really trade outside of that opening 5-minute bar. Choppy, choppy. Get that RTY retest overnight high, hold, new high of day. Data in 1 minute. How we doing so far? Hopefully no one's getting chopped up. This is a quite choppy open. Cash, nice. Yeah, good call. NQ cannot sustain above 500. Every little look above 500 is sold right into. So let's see if the 9:45 a.m. print gives us a little ignition here or not. spread opens up. All right, nothing there. Volume still below average. Gabe Short's second retest of overnight high in GC. Slapping up gold. Let's see. Oh, nice. Yeah, a little up thrust there. That's clean. Nice up thrust. Overnight high up thrust. I like it. Nice trade. Notice that little test, that little look above 500 again, just sold right into NQ back into session lows. It's a very tight structure here. Still within the opening 5-minute bar. Look at the wicks on that 5-minute chart. 10 minutes till 10 a.m. Staying patient. Working on that patience. 6830 and ES. Yeah, big level of interest there. Yep. Need that easy money setup. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Gabe, yeah, exactly. Another monitor increases your profitability. Every square inch of monitor space is directly correlated to a trader's P&L. That's why you really want to maximize how many monitors you have. Seven monitors in it isn't enough. I mean, it's pretty good, right? But what if you just had eight? What if you had eight, man? Get those numbers up. NQ new low of day right there. So let's see prior day low, 25,414. Here it comes. And then about 6 minutes till 10 a.m. We do have data at 10. So do you want to trade before the 10 a.m. print? That's up to you. First, we need a setup. Correlates to a larger desk. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Just right back into the structure. They didn't want to give us the sweep. No sweeper for you or me. 25,500 retest. Yeah, Gabe, I saw the new offer. I actually like the not the daily one, whatever they call the other one, select or whatever it is. No consistency. We talked about that yesterday. Maybe that was in the chat. I can't remember if that was on stream or not. That may have been in the chat, but no consistency. And I think every 5 days you can pull 5K from the 150K accounts and you can have five. If I read it correctly. I need to double check that. Let's see. Yeah, 5 day payouts. I cannot see. I cannot read that. Let's see this. Yeah, 5K per account. You can have five, so 25K. Max payout, no daily loss limit, no consistency. Payout frequency is 5 days. That's the better account, if you ask me. They also have the daily one. Daily payouts, it's nice, but on the 150K account, it's capped at 2,500. And then the daily loss limit on the 150K is 1,750. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, not a fan of that one. Not a big fan of that one. But this is their new select plan. And then within the select, you can either get the daily or the other one, which I think is better, the flex. But like we were saying yesterday, competition is good. It's good. It's good for the trader. If you're more of like a sim farmer rather than an actual trader, because in 2026, we got to start to distinguish those two individuals. One of them cannot trade a live account, but they may make money with prop firms. If you are that person that just kind of runs up prop accounts, then the daily payout is probably better because you realistically speaking, you don't have edge. You're just kind of punting the accounts and looking for those payouts, looking for a positive return on whatever the account costs. All right, NQ right back into 500 here. We got 45 seconds until 10 a.m. data. So let's see, can we resolve this structure or not? Can see the tape get all jittery, spread opens up a bit. Session volume point of control is right through here, 480. All right, let's see, a couple seconds. Okay, so it attempts to crack higher, but does not even make a new high of day. We do see an uptick in volume. The 15-minute looks a little bit better if price can continue to show acceptance above 500. And then your most recent 30-minute bar is a doji, so a little indecision. If we can see price make a new high of day and then maybe retest this structure, this area right through here, provide an entry, that could be compelling, but I would want to see a new high of day first. Alpha futures are your favorite prop at the moment. 15K cap and a payout every 5 days. Yeah, they look good. They look good. I'm building up a few of those accounts right now as well. Took advantage of their Black Friday sale. The profit target on the pro accounts I think is like 12K. It's much higher than a typical 150K account. So NQ new high of day, ES new high of day. It's getting more interesting now. Good volume. We have an uptick in volume. Post data, you did have a little microstructure right there near 500, kind of right in that area. No position for me, per my discussed plan. RTY, nice hold at VWAP with overnight high right there as well. NASDAQ, small overnight gap, it's almost filled. Coming into yesterday's close. And prior day volume point of control right through there as well. That'd be a decent upside target if you're long, if you found an entry. 25,600 area. Okay. Let's see. Sort of retracement are we going to have here? Look at the RTY. Anyone trading RTY this morning? Clean. Nice, Gabe. I knew you'd come around, man. I knew it. It's just a better product. It really is a better product. The one thing I hope they add is a better like P&L calendar. That's one aspect of Trade Syncer that I really liked. Had a trade open that did not close. Oh, yeah. That was a common occurrence for me with Trade Syncer. I know you were saying it didn't really happen to you. I think it's just probably because we execute differently, but it essentially made Trade Syncer just like unusable. Could not use it. Happy to say I've not had even one of those issues with Tradecopia. And I'm not affiliated with the company or anything like that. So it's just a genuine experience. So there's your 500 retest. See if it holds here. Line in the sand would be like 480-ish. That's your weekly open, and then should be session volume point of control right through there. Yeah. Yep. Overall, it's been a mega slow day. How's everyone's morning so far? I would guess largely cash for most. Hopefully not getting chopped up would be my hope. Took the short. Nice. Bought a short. Pray for it. Don't need to pray, man. Math does not require prayers. There's 500. Another test of 500. Already full ported 3x. You're at break even. Oh man, Albert, what is going on, bud? What is going on, Albert? So, like I said, line in the sand 482. See if we get any sort of bounce in this zone. Albert, a lot of pushing and pulling and pushing again. Drop size, my friend. Drop size. Drop that size down. What prop firm do I suggest? I'd start with Top Step. Really can't go wrong with Top Step. I mean, the platform issues are definitely one thing, but I think they'll make it right. I think they're working on it. Oh, you're just Albert's just pulling my chain. All right, good. That's good. Five-minute doji. Yeah, there's a lot of indecision. So far, this is an inside day. So one of my least favorite sessions, or least favorite types of trading sessions anyway. I like to see price outside of prior day's range. No gambling. Good. Good, good, good. The props will make it easy if you want to. There you go. NQ through 5-minute prior bar high. Back into VWAP. Not giving VWAP too much emphasis right now. I'd like to see session highs retested. When to not care about VWAP? I'll give it less emphasis when the action is choppier, more emphasis when you have more of a trend-based move. It's kind of a basic rule of thumb that I follow for it. All right, NASDAQ getting back into highs. Can we mark a new high of day? Give it 2 attempts down in that area. Look at the stop on that first one, man. That's real life trading for you. I gave back my gains on the morning. I'll trim some at 6.5 here and we'll see what we get out of the runner. Can you legally trade against the bot? Why would that be illegal? Almost got trailed out right there. 525.75 is my trail. Literally to the tick. My goodness. I'll bring that 6.5 trail or 6.5 trim down into 6.275. Need a bounce right here, or this trail gets taken. And there's the trail. All right. Basically a scratch morning. 2 for 3 on the morning. I'm going to keep an eye on the 500, 480 zone. Stop to the tick. Get back in. Once price kind of proves the idea correctly. See what happens here. CME Rule 534. Let's look it up. Rule 534, wash trades prohibited. No person shall place or accept buy and sell orders in the same product and expiration month. And for a put or call option, the same strike price where the person knows or reasonably should know that the purpose of the orders is to avoid taking a bona fide market position exposed to market risk. Transaction commonly known or referred to as wash trades or wash sales. So right off the bat, no, it would not be illegal because what I'm doing in my accounts here is not intentionally to reverse what the bot is doing. That's how I interpret this. So the long that I took here, if the bot is short, the long I took here is not to counter that. This is a different trade idea being expressed. Totally different trade ideas. Different time frames, different strategies. Only applies to live accounts that go to CME, not SIM accounts. I don't think it applies anyway, personally. Another re-entry right there at 500, missed it. Decent little re-entry spot. Sorry, rule 854. I'm not going to review the whole CME booklet with you, but I don't think I'm in violation of any securities rules. So Nasdaq held 25,500. We're coming back in a session highs. Very nice re-entry right through there. Can we mark a fresh high on the day? Volume kind of tapering down here. Wouldn't mind having another entry. Potentially a lower high in the making. So if the 480 by 500 cracks, I'll again be watching prior day low. See if we get a spring down through here. It's kind of the midpoint of today's structure, session volume point of control, and then a key level of interest through there as well. Notice the lower high and the third test of 25,500 coming up. Third test post 10 a.m. Not a spot I would be setting risk against here, given the two most recent bounces failed to materialize in new session highs. Crappy price action stopped on first long. They gave me second scalp. Yeah, pretty much same story on my end. Stopped to the tick. Painful. Painful. Then we get the scalp. Small green on the morning. Another case for me of less is more. Got 3 trades on the day now that have net less profit than just the first trade of the morning. Oh, we got a little volatility. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Some news hit right there. And Q coming into highs. Let's see if we get a new high of day. See the news feeds. Third third bounce at 25,500 held, and there's your new high of day. Mm, not seeing anything in the feeds as of yet. Huge volume. Microsoft responded to information report, which apparently was wrong, did not lower sales quotas, according to CNBC. Okay. So the reason the market moved lower during the pre-market is being debunked by Microsoft. Let's see how this develops here. New high of day. ES is up in a 68.50. Let's see how much of this overnight sell has been retraced already. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that. Gotta love it. Fib sell zone for the overnight move. So NASDAQ has closed the small overnight gap. That's prior day close and prior day volume point of control right through there at 600. Rich, you had the long. You hit the 500 again. That Microsoft just ripped. Yeah, look at that. Charting, trading view. We're 1 hour into the sesh. I would not mind another entry here, but we may or may not see it. So far, like I said, there's just a scratch day. We nailed 40 points off the open, gave it all back and then some on an idea that technically worked, just was slightly mismanaged on my end. Now just small green, basically flat. It will be flat. That's that little retest into the structure. Not much to do right here. Just wait. Gabe, at least one insider there printed with longs. Yeah, you pretty much bet on that. No doubt about it. NASDAQ, very slight new high of day right there. Probably give it a few more minutes before we call it a morning. Take the essentially flat day. NQ is bumping into prior day volume point of control. Essentially held the 25,500 level of interest. Held the prior day low, overnight low zone on the retest. Pre-market game plan worked nicely, but again, as always, analysis is one thing. Execution is a whole different story. Ideas that I would consider for late morning. We get a retest back into this zone. Really like this area. I look for longs down there. If we get a break of overnight high, prior day high, and then some market structure, I look for longs right there. Trade up into 760. If we see a failure here at 500, I would watch for longs down through here. It's kind of three primary ideas that I'm looking for. The only long, yeah, long only. Been long only for about 2 years. Actually, I think exactly 2 years now. Unconditional love, looking at long and short at the same time stuff. Yeah, it'll be a problem at a prop firm. Definitely be a problem at a prop firm. Rule 534 is not going to apply. I was talking about intent to offset. There's no intent to offset. These are completely different strategies. And it doesn't happen all that commonly. But a prop firm, if that's your concern, yeah. They'll block your payout for sure. If you're like discretionarily trading two or three top step accounts, and then you have another one hooked up that is against whatever it is you're doing in the discretionary account, yeah, for sure. They'll instantly block that. They don't care. But as far as compliance with CME, yeah, there's no issue. Strategic or psychological on long only? Long only just started it. Oddly, it started as a joke and then a little bit of a challenge when the market was just vertical at one point. And during that period, I did it for like a month, just kind of challenged myself. During that period, my hit rate improved and my mental clarity improved. And I knew, I mean, the market at that time was just going up, up, up. So I knew the real test would be during a more bearish environment. And so when the market eventually turned, I just continued to trade and focus on longs. It was certainly more challenging, but for me, it really helps mental clarity and helps just stay focused on exactly what I want to do in the market. There were a handful of times, and I'm sure everyone can relate to this, where you're long and then price just kind of churns around your level and you flip short and then the long works. I don't like that at all. That drives me crazy. So long only is not, it's not going to be for everyone, but it works nicely for me. And I'm a big, if you guys have been watching the streams for a while, you've been in the traders think tank. I'm a big proponent of less is more. Just keeping a narrow focus, really doing less in the market, fewer strategies, fewer setups, fewer instruments that you're trading, and really just specializing. And long only fits neatly into that mentality. So I like it. I like it. Plus, not to mention, I mean, US equities tend to go up. So tends to go higher. But yeah, it's kind of the reasoning behind it. Yeah, that's the main challenge. In a more bearish environment, you really have to understand that those longs are more than likely going to be unfavorable. And then areas, say like reversals that you were trying in a more neutral market or a more bullish market are definitely going to be more prone to rolling over. And so that's why, but on the flip side of that, the bounces within a more bearish environment are going to be more extreme. So there's still massive profit potential there. It's just you have to make sure that you're getting involved with the right locations. That's a big, big piece. Retail always wants to catch the elevator down. Yeah, people love to short. I mean, the main thing is just kind of finding a little area of edge that works for you and that you can master. A lot of the times traders they're just flip-flopping way too much. And on one hand it makes sense because if something starts to underperform, the brain naturally thinks that it's broken or that it's not working anymore. And it's like you could just be in a little bit of a slump. It doesn't mean the strategy's dead. Or it could be that the market conditions have shifted and you didn't totally recognize it. And then so what happens is, they don't have the depth of knowledge to continue to press or continue to review. And so they just look for a new strategy and the cycle just continues, right? Just flip flop, next strategy, next strategy, next strategy, total shiny object syndrome. And years later, you're like, man, I've accomplished essentially nothing. So really, really dialing in on just one or two things and becoming a master at those. It's going to be slower and it may feel a little bit boring, but from my perspective, it really is the way to go. You got to think about the long game. Really got to play the long game in trading. But everyone comes into the market, or most people come into the market for quick money, quick cash, like it's a lottery or casino or something. NQ pulling in a little bit, volumes tapering down. I'm gonna call it right there. Uneventful day on my end. I'm a little frustrated with that stop that got taken out to the tick. I mean, that never feels good, especially because the idea was correct. I just needed a little bit more buffer right there, which I tend to do. I tend to do put a little bit of buffer beneath. But in this case, I wanted to keep it a little bit tighter because I was going to re-enter at 480. So I was just thinking, all right, well, I could risk the entire zone, put the stop below 480 and just give this one shot, which in hindsight, of course, would have been the right call. Or I could just take a tight stop at 500 and then re-enter at 480. That's trading for you. We'll take the scratch day and just move on with our life. Hope you guys had a good morning. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank here. We'll be live tomorrow, of course. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, thanks for your time today. Take care.